Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Charter for Compassion Global Youth Conference. Our theme for this inaugural edition of the Charter's Youth Conference is Youth for Compassionate Advocacy and Actions. My name is Anum, Mulla, and I am the Charter's Global Youth Strategist and a member of its Board of Trustees. It is an honor to stand before you as we bring together a remarkable gathering of young minds, leaders, and changemakers from around the globe. For those of you who are not familiar with the Charter for Compassion, we are an international movement dedicated to promoting effective, compassionate action through our work and initiatives. Building a global movement that embraces compassion as a transformative force in our societies. At the heart of our mission is the belief that empathy and compassion are leadership qualities essential for addressing the challenges of our interconnected world. The Charter's journey began in 2008 when comparative religion scholar Karen Armstrong accepted the first TED Prize to create a global movement aimed at restoring the Golden Rule. A website was then launched in 2008, inviting people from diverse backgrounds to share their perspectives on what a world that leads with compassion would comprise of. Thousands from more than 100 countries participated, resulting in input that shaped a 4-paragraph declaration, which came to be known as the Charter for Compassion. And it was subsequently launched at the United Nations in 2009. The Charter has since been affirmed by millions of people in a shared commitment to compassion. Today, the Charter for Compassion has grown into an international non-for-profit organization and is the largest network in the global compassionate movement, involving hundreds of cities around the world across 12 multidisciplinary sectors that we work in. The Charter is led by an inspiring group of staff and global volunteers, each of whom I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to for working tirelessly to put together this inaugural edition of our Global Youth Conference. I would also like a moment to thank our conference partners who have helped us promote this fantastic gathering of global changemakers from around the world. The Charter's Global Youth Network is led by an advisory committee with representation from all over the globe. You will get a chance to hear from some of our committee members throughout this conference. I encourage you all to read more about our global initiatives on our website and see how you can be involved. This Global Youth Conference is not just an event. It is a deep call to action from the Charter for Compassion. It is an invitation to each of us to use the power of empathy and compassion to create a more just and equitable world. Something that is truly the need of the hour as we continue to bear witness to the genocides, oppressions, and injustices around the world. I'm thrilled to have each of you here with us as we embark on this journey of learning and collective action. Over the next 2 days, we'll engage in a range of impactful sessions, some of which will include panels, which we have thoughtfully curated to spotlight seasoned youth advocates from around the world, sharing their insights on global issues. These discussions will highlight youth perspective on addressing today's challenges. We will also feature youth-led sessions, which will amplify the voices of young leaders making significant change in their communities. Their sessions will lead us in thought-provoking dialogues, giving them a chance to share their stories, experiences, and the transformative power of youth-led action. We are also offering capacity-building workshops, which will be led by expert facilitators who will equip us with practical tools and strategies to drive meaningful change in our world today. We will have the distinct honor of hearing from our keynote speaker, Zian Verji, the visionary founder of Leaders of Today and global changemaker. We will also hear from our youth spotlight speaker, Mong, a youth leader and peace advocate who resides in a Rohingya refugee camp. This conference is more than just a series of dialogues, as much as it is an opportunity to listen and learn. It is also an opportunity to envision, innovate, and act, and mostly to reimagine what the future can be when compassion drives our actions. I would like to remind each of you today that we each hold the power to turn these discussions into movements and these ideas into tangible actions to create a future defined by empathy, compassion, and justice through our collective action. The idea to organize this conference came from one of the Charter's core principles of strengthening networks for change. And this is precisely why we chose this platform of Ring Central events to host this conference. I encourage each of you to take the time to use its networking features to engage with one another, share ideas, and build meaningful connections over the next 2 days to amplify our collective impact. We have created a helpful document with instructions on how to navigate this platform. You can find the link to this document in the platform chat, as well as in the reception area of this platform. I want to take a minute to acknowledge the fact that for those of us who have not used the Ring Central Events platform, it might seem a little overwhelming at first, but I promise you, if you take some time to get used to it and follow our step-by-step guide, which is in the reception area, and as I said in the chat of this conference, you will be able to understand and use all of the features that are open to you. And with that, I would like to take a few minutes to walk you through the schedule, and I kindly request your patience as I do so because we have a lot to offer. And I also want to take a minute to acknowledge the fact that we have had over 450 registrations from all over the world. So I know some people who are joining us live right now might be in the beginning of their day, and some might be in the middle or towards the end. And we, on behalf of the Charter for Compassion, we extend our deepest gratitude for taking the time to be here today, and we really hope that the next 2 days offers meaning and purpose in your life. So just in a few minutes, our journey today will begin with the United Youth Leaders of the Future panel, where outstanding student leaders will speak of their initiatives to remind us that youth-led action isn't just possible, it is powerful and transformative. Following this, we will dive into our youth-led sessions, where 4 of the following sessions will run at the same time. I would also like to let everybody know that if you're spoiled for choice, the way I am, we encourage you to sit in for the session that feels most aligned to you, and also know that recordings will be available after the conference. So if you feel that you missed out on a specific session because you sat in for another one, you will be able to watch the recordings after the conference is over. The youth-led sessions today are Empathy and Compassion, Keys to Resilient Connected Societies, led by Shrishti Shankar and Abdel Salam Al-Faki. Bringing innovation to the community, leveraging technological skills and resources for impact, led by a group of inspiring middle school students at Lake Forest Country Day School in the United States. Enabling global youth to develop environmental solutions, led by Ryan Honoré. And lastly, From Isolation to Inclusion, Compassion as a Lifeline for Teens at Risk, run by Grace Netsky, representing Hope Means Nevada. After our youth-led sessions, we will then transition to our second panel of the day, Leading the Climate Movement, Youth and Environmental Advocacy. This panel will feature passionate young leaders who are at the forefront of global environmental change. They'll share their experiences in navigating the challenges and opportunities in advocating for a sustainable future. We will then transition to our capacity building workshops, which will follow the format of youth-led sessions. So there will be 4 running at the same time. We have Building Character Strengths through a podcast circle by Zainab Bukhari, representing Crossing Borders Education. We have the Golden Rulism session, When Sustainability and Well-Being Merge, led by Shane O'Connor. And then we have Together We Thrive, Building Community for Collective Action by Eris Haynes. And lastly, we have a wonderful session titled Empowering Youth to be Catalysts of Change Through Nonviolent Communication and Servant Leadership by Janeth Pereira. We will close our conference today with a keynote address from Zian Verji, the visionary founder of Leaders of Today. And while I know that is a lot of information, I would like to remind everybody that on the Ring Central Events platform, you can go through each of these sessions and panels and the keynote address on our schedule. If you are logging in from a computer or a laptop, the toolbar should be on the left-hand side in the reception area. If you are logging in from a mobile device or a laptop, or a tablet, my bad, the toolbar will be at the bottom. So if you click on the schedule, you will be able to go into detail on what each session offers, and you will also be able to choose which session you would like to attend and click the session link that is provided to you. Day 2, which is tomorrow and our final day of the Global Youth Conference, will focus on themes of the future. We will open with our youth spotlight speaker, Mong, who will share his powerful story and shed light on the struggles and hopes of the Rohingya people, urging us to stand for justice and equality. The day will unfold with 2 more pivotal panels: Youth Catalyzing Change, Driving Inclusive and Peaceful Societies, which will explore how young people are leading the way in promoting peace, justice, and human rights in alignment with the principles of the UN SDG 16. Our second panel of tomorrow will be Strengthening Youth Engagement for Compassionate Advocacy. This final panel will bring together the entire conference in terms of the themes we are exploring and will feature experienced youth advocates who will share their journeys, strategies, and creative solutions to drive meaningful change. We will also have a short address from the Charter for Compassion titled A Call to Action. Our youth-led sessions on day 2 will feature Birthing Compassionate Futures by Hajar Tazi, The Role of Nonviolent Communication in Peaceful Coexistence by Gervin Bela, Challenging Unsustainable Practices, 2 young campaigners take on the palm oil industry, Gia and Asha Kirkpatrick, who are students in the UK, and Personal Branding for Social Impact, Why You Should Make Some Noise by Reese Wong. Our final capacity building workshops will be Peace Leadership Model, a Tool for Conscious Social Change by James O'Foe, Innovating for Impact, Youth Entrepreneurship and Social Change by Amani Joel Mafigi and Patient Baraka, Intercultural Competency by Shireen Ganji, and Silencing Your Inner Critic, Moving from Self-Doubt to Self-Compassion by the visionary Jennifer Nadell. As we draw our conference to a close, we will hear from Marilyn Turkovich, Executive Director of the Charter for Compassion, whose closing remarks will leave us with a renewed sense of purpose and a call to action. Again, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge that might have been a lot of information, but you can find all of it on our scheduled section in the reception area. And in just a few minutes, we will invite our panelists and our moderator, the Charter's very own Felipe Zurita, to take the stage and start with our first official panel of the Charter for Compassion Global Youth Conference. And before I end this welcome address, I would like to take a moment to let you all know that at the Charter, we deeply invite you to reflect on these next 2 days with purpose and a sense of courage to notice how we could develop a call to compassionate action, not only in the communities that we live in, but hopefully on the global stage. So we invite you to bring your passion, your creativity, and courage to this space and make the most of this incredible opportunity to connect, collaborate, and make a lasting impact. And with this, I would once again like to officially welcome you to the Charter for Compassion Global Youth Conference 2024. And on behalf of our wonderful staff and our wonderful group of global volunteers, we truly hope that you find inspiration in all that unfolds over the next 2 days. And we will see you shortly in about a few minutes for our next panel. And lastly, just to let everybody know, we do know that online offerings can be very exhausting. So we have tried our best to incorporate 10-minute breaks between each session. So if you are planning to stick around for the full 5 hours today, we encourage you to use those breaks to grab a cup of coffee, regulate yourself, as some of the topics that we will be covering will really honor the atrocities that are unfolding in the world today, and we know that that could be dysregulating. And with that, we will see you in a few minutes. Thank you so much for being here.